Good morning, lovely yogis. Today for our yoga practice, you'll need a bolster or a pillow, as well as a block or a pretty thick book. So once you have your props sitting on top of your block, just on its lowest height, in a gentle cross-leg position with your knees slanted downward, sitting up nice and tall through the spine. And let's just start to focus on our breathing and find our center. Taking a couple big breaths to start. Letting your exhale relax you through the jaw and through your collarbones. When you're inhaling, you're letting your belly expand nice and big. And when you're exhaling, you're softening just a little bit more. Continue to sit there with your eyes closed. We are on Truthfulness, the last week of Truthfulness, week 4. This week, look at ideas and beliefs that once served you and now have become archaic. You may unknowingly be holding on to things that you no longer need. Honor these beliefs because, like a vehicle, they brought you to your current place on your journey. As you let go of what no longer serves you, pay attention to where denial shows up and celebrate your movement towards a clearer, more authentic you. Watch how this exercise frees up your energy for the further emergence of your authentic realness. So that is what we're working on this week, and I'll write that below the YouTube video in the bio. And you can just copy that down into your journal after class. Let's take a deep inhale, lengthen up through the spine just a little bit more. And exhale, soften. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Continuing to breathe just like that. So this week we're touching on Truthfulness's Truth Has Weight and the power of truth. Although truth prefers fluidity to rigidity, it also has real substance to it. There is thickness or a weight to a person who practices truthfulness. A person of substance is willing to stay present in life no matter what its initial unpleasantness. When we run from life, try to manage life, or leave our energy scattered, we feel differently than when our whole self shows up with our thoughts, words, and actions congruent and unified. When we are centered in the moment, we can fully meet the ordinariness of life as well as the challenges of life. All of us shows up to the moment. There is profound courage to this kind of willingness to be raw with reality as it is, rather than run from it or construct a barrier to soften it. What are we so afraid of? Life is an experiment with truth. Let yourself wonder what life might look like if you were willing to contact truthfulness in every moment. So let's take 5 more full breaths, just where you are. Letting those words run through you. slowly let your eyes open, leaning yourself forward off of your block. We're going to bring our bolster behind us, lengthwise down the mat. Pulling it up nice and close to your lower back. Bring the bottoms of your feet into a butterfly pose. And then slowly bring yourself back and down over the bolster. Adjusting so that your tailbone stays on the ground. Take your moments to adjust, bringing your hands out to your sides. Folding those shoulder blades underneath and take a few deep breaths, feeling your heart opening. And then bring your arms straight up above your head, letting your fingertips sink down towards the ground. Again, take a few breaths, letting your armpits open. Starting slow. Arms come out to T position, again letting your fingertips come down towards the ground. Breathing in and out deeply. Flow. So bring your arms straight up above your head. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, squeezing your shoulder blades together, pinching the pillow between them behind you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you come down. Just getting into that groove. Inhale, up. Exhale, come down. Taking your time with these motions. Inhale one more time, really stretching up. Feel your navel come in. Exhale. Squeezing. From here, one more time, reaching your hands up, letting your fingertips sink down towards the ground. Take a few breaths. And then out to T position, hands come down towards the ground. A few breaths into the arms, into the heart. And then bring your arms straight up in front of you. We're going to hug ourselves, bringing our hands back to our shoulder blades. And then again, hugging. Full breaths. Maybe you feel an opening in your upper back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, opposite arm crosses over the top. Again, hugging yourself nice and tight. Open the arms one more time, doing one more final stretch that feels good for you. And then bringing your knees back towards one another, rolling onto your side. And pushing yourself back up. We're going to switch our bolster so that it's horizontal on the mat. And then again, bring ourselves back and down with our hips onto the bolster. Coming into our waterfall pose, so our legs are straight up in the air. Adjusting yourself so that it's comfortable, so that your bolster helps with this movement of your legs staying straight up. And then from here, simply start to breathe. And then point your toes towards the sky. Take a full breath in and out. Flex your toes back down towards you. Take another full breath. And then just move through your point and flex a couple times. Feeling the legs, the ankles, and the feet waking up a little bit. And then from here, we're going to bring our legs into a wide V, flexing your feet, and then just hold for a moment, feeling the inner seam of your legs stretching out. You can hold your legs if that feels good. Remember to breathe. Just feeling how that stretch feels. Maybe it's bringing something up for you, an emotion. Keep breathing. Breathe through it. And then bring the legs back up. We're going to let our feet dip a little bit closer towards our face. And then keeping your right leg up, let your left leg fall down below. Take a moment here again, just breathing, trying to relax into this position. Maybe your muscles are shaking a little bit. It's quite normal. Bringing the left leg up, switching sides. Right leg slowly comes down. Deep, full breaths, letting them open. And then from here, holding on just to your bolster under your hips, we're going to start drawing half circles with our legs. Switching one to the other, drawing those half moons. Bringing some motion into our hips, our hip flexors. Slowly activating that core. Couple more rounds. And then bend your knees in towards your belly. Letting one foot come down to the ground at a time. And then hitting the pause button just for a breath, in and out. Relaxing your hips and your lower back around the bolster. Keep your left foot planted, and then bring your right foot straight back up. So maybe you feel an activation through the quad muscles in your left leg. If you want, you can hang on to your right leg, stretching a little bit further, and breathe into those sensations of stretching in your left leg. Slowly release the right leg all the way down, planting it in. Other side, left foot comes straight up, keeping your right foot planted. And if it feels good to slide your hand down the back of your left leg, try to keep your right knee pulled in towards your midline. And slowly lower back down. Take one more breath in and out. And then when you're ready, really folding those shoulder blades underneath. You're going to lift your hips off of the bolsters, sliding it out, and lower the hips back down to the ground. Maybe you feel warm sensations in your lower back or tingling. Feel that new space that we've created. And when you're ready, rolling back up to your seat, bringing your legs around. So we're coming all the way down to our belly. And you're going to wiggle your hips to ground them into the ground with your hands, fingers spread underneath the shoulders. 3 cobras. So your hips are grounded. Inhale, point out through your feet. Slowly roll your shoulder blades back and up. Take a breath in. Exhale, flow back down. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the heart. Exhale, come down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Take a moment to wiggle your hips again, release the flex in the glutes. And then bring yourself up to your elbows. So elbows are stacked below the shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Wiggle the hips to ground the pelvic bone into the ground. We're in Sphinx, closing your eyes, relaxing your tongue away from the roof of your mouth, and breathing. We really want to focus on our breathing. We're doing a lot of heart opening, gentle back bend kind of things today. So you really want to have that connection with the breath. So you can either stay here, exactly where you are, or bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders. You're going to slowly straighten your arms up. Take a breath. We're stretching our front body, compressing our lumbar spine. And when you're ready, slowly bend your elbows back and down. Then come back down to the belly. Take a moment to wiggle your hips from side to side again. Releasing those holds. And then coming back to the elbows. Elbows stacked under shoulders. From here, we're going to angle our right hand into the center. Fingers spread nice and wide. Once you're firmly grounded there, bend your left leg, opposite leg, back. Then we're going to reach back for that foot. If you can't reach, that's okay. Just have the motion of reaching back towards it. If you can reach, you're gently bringing the foot down towards the ground, elbow pointed up to the sky, and keep yourself lifted through your heart, away from your right arm. Take a breath in and out. And slowly release the left foot, coming back into Sphinx. Left hand angles into the center, grounds in, bending your right knee back, reaching back with your right hand, grabbing the top of the right foot, elbow pointed up, lift yourself up and away from your left shoulder, don't sink in, and take a few breaths. And slowly release the foot back down. Coming back into Sphinx. Now we're going to take a little break. So bring your arms back down to your sides, resting on the side of your temple. And you can wiggle your hips from side to side if that feels good for your lower back. Right. Let's bring ourselves up into our tabletop position. Knees stacked under hips, wrists under shoulders, and start to cat-cow. So with your inhale, leading with your hips, you are tucking the pelvic bone forward, letting your belly drop towards the ground. Inhale, lift. And then leading with the hips again. Exhale, round all the way through the spine and down through the neck. Again, hips first. Inhale, drop the belly, round through the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the pelvic bone under, rounding through. Inhale, coming up. Relax the jaw. Exhale, round. Couple more, bringing that motion, that fluid motion into the spine. Once more, inhale big, exhale round. And then recentering, we're going to activate our core now. So we're going to stretch our left leg straight out behind us, pressing through the left heel. Shift your weight into your left hand, and then reach your right fingertips out, keeping your belly up and in. Continue to breathe. And slowly lower back down. Resetting yourself, right leg stretches straight out behind, press through the heel, left hand comes straight out in front, activate your core, find your balance in your center, and breathe. When you're ready, release. Coming back into your tabletop. We're tucking our toes underneath, lifting the hips and pressing back into your down dog. Walking your heels one at a time. Letting the backs of your legs open. Tailbone is lifted to the sky. Your spine is nice and straight. Your knees bent as much as you need them to be to keep your spine straight. That is the most important. And then see if you can pull your shoulders down away from your ears just a little bit more, creating more space in the back of your neck, letting both your heels come down towards the ground. Let's take 2 more full breaths. And then lift your gaze between your hands. We're stepping our right foot between the hands and lowering the left knee down. So right ankle is underneath the left knee, and you're kind of tractioning your back knee forward. Press through your right foot, coming up. Once you're up, you find that you're really leaning into that front leg. Push through your right foot, pull your belly up and away, and reach your hands up to the sky. Couple deep breaths. Finding stillness within your mind as your body is slowly letting go. And then flow the hands back down on either side. We're going to lift our left knee and sweep our right foot back to down dog. And take a breath in and out. Other side, lift the gaze. Left foot comes up. Lower the right knee down. Scoot your foot up. If it doesn't make it up all the way, that's okay. You want to make sure that the ankle is stacked when you push up. Once you're up, remember to push through your left foot. Pull your belly up and away. Reaching your hands up to the sky. A few deep breaths. And flow the hands back down. Lift the right knee and sweep back to down dog. Take a breath in and out, let the hips sink back. And we're coming back up with the right foot, so lift the gaze, step the right foot up, and lower the left knee down. We'll do lots of that today. So once you're up, bring yourself up, belly comes away. Reach your hands up this time. You're clasping your fingers up, pointing your index finger up to the sky. See if you can still keep space between your arm and your ears. So lifting, broadening through the chest. And if it feels okay for your lower back, for you, start to lift your gaze and lift your heart. And then straightening back up through the spine. Bring your hands back down. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee and sweep back to down dog again. Breath in and out, let the hips sink. Tailbone lifts to the sky. Lifting the gaze, left foot steps up. Lower the right knee down. Push through the foot, come up. Inhale, hands up to the sky, clasping, pointing to the stars. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. It's just a very gentle back bend, working towards crescent, but today we're just focusing on lifting the heart center and breathing while you're doing it. And then straighten out through the spine. Bring the hands down on either side of the left foot. Lift the right knee. Sweep back to your down dog. Bringing yourself over your hands into your plank position. Bending your elbows back. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips back to down dog. So we're going to do that a little faster. Coming into your upward facing dog. Exhale, lifting the hips back to down dog. One more time. Rolling forward on the toes. Inhale. You want to move slow. Exhale, lift the hips back. And then take another breath in and out in down dog. From here, you're stepping your right foot up again and lowering the left knee down. From here, we're going to walk heel toe our right foot out to the edge so that your toes are angled out, heel is angled in, and plant down through the palms of both your hands. Breathing here. This is working on your back knee into the ground. Maybe you can have a blanket for some extra padding there. more breaths, planting through the hands. If you have the space and want to make your way down to your elbows, come on down. Continuing to breathe deep. Make your way back up to your hands. We're going to bring our left elbow down towards the edge of the mat, stacking it under shoulder, and then bring the forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Plant down through the palm. From here, you're letting your left hip sink towards the ground, rolling yourself open to the right. Maybe your bottom of your right foot stays planted, maybe it rolls open. Both are correct. And then from here, inhale your right hand up to the sky. It feels good to let it come back. Take a breath here. Keep yourself lifted and up and away from your left shoulder. And then right hand comes back down, lifting yourself up. Heel toe your foot back into the center. And then from here, we're going to rock our hips back, letting our right toes come up off the ground, right front leg is straight. Take a deep breath in, lift up through your heart. Exhale, sink over the right leg. Bring it together a couple times so that the back of the leg opens with the breath. Couple deep breaths, taking your time, feeling that become a little more gentle as you breathe. And rocking your hips forward, back again. Inhale forward, exhale back. One more time, inhale, exhale. Inhale forward. We're going to plant through our hands, lift our back knee, sweep back to down dog, and take a breath in and out. Other side, left foot comes up, right knee comes down. From here, heel toe your left foot so that the foot is angled out. Heel is angled in. Plant through the palms of your hands. Take a couple breaths here, simply opening, simply feeling where your hips are at today. When you're ready, make your way down to your elbows. Continue to breathe deep ujjayi breath in the back of your throat. Slowly make your way back up to your hands, and then your right elbow comes down towards the right edge of your mat. Forearm parallel to the front of your mat, planted through the palm. You're letting your right hip sink towards the ground. Once it's sunk, inhale, lift your left fingers up to the sky. Exhale, coming back. Breathing deeply into your heart center. There's a lot of trust in opening the heart. And the breath helps with that trust. Slow and steady breath. Bringing your left hand back and around, planting it in. Lift yourself back to center. Straighten your mat. And then your left foot comes back in towards the center as well. So from here, rock your hips back. Let your left leg straighten. Inhale, lift halfway. Bring your heart up. And exhale, fold over the left leg. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. A few times, making it your moving meditation with your breath and your body connected. When you're ready, inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Slowly exhale back. Being aware of your right knee too. Remember, you can pad if you need to. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale, coming forward. Planting your hands, lifting your right knee. And sweep back to your down dog. Take a breath or a few breaths in and out here. Lifting your hips up to the sky and see if you can feel a difference in the back of your legs. And lift your gaze towards the front of your mat. Step both feet up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Nice and long hold here. The weight is evenly distributed through both feet. You're trying not to cling on with your toes. Letting the back of your neck be heavy. Gravity's moving through the spine, out through the top of your head. Start to sweep yourself slowly from side to side, moving your neck, yes and no. Bring that fluidity in. When you're ready, inhale, lift halfway, straightening through the spine halfway. Let your breath release. Inhale with that straight spine coming all the way up, lifting fingertips to the sky. Exhale back to the heart. Take a moment with your feet hip distance apart. Lift the toes, place them down. Close your eyes. And just stand here feeling grounded. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And we're going to plant our hands, step directly into down dog. From here, again, right foot comes up. Left knee lowers. Push through the right foot coming up. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky, clasping fingers. Flip the palms to the sky. Keep breathing in. Exhale, release. Coming with the hands behind the back. Keep yourself planted through your right foot. Strong plant. So you're pressing your hands down and away. Folding your shoulder blades towards one another, lifting the heart. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, reach up one more time. Really growing your spine, releasing back down. Clasp the hands, push down. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Really squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then release back down. So if you practice Hanumanasana, splits in your practice, I'm just going to do a little bit of mine in my practice. You can skip this if this is not for you today. So it's nice to have a block or a bolster underneath the back of your right leg. You're going to release the toes of your back leg. Keep yourself held up either on your bolster or using a couple more blocks. And then you're inching your toes, your right leg forward. Keep yourself in control, moving nice and slow. Take a couple deep breaths. When you're ready to release, you're leaning forward. You're slowly dragging your heel back, all the way back. And then just sit for a moment, wiggling your hips from side to side, tuning in to how the body feels. Alright, other side. So coming back into your down dog. Left foot comes up between the hands, lower the right knee down. Pushing yourself up, pull the belly away. When you're ready, inhale, hands up to the sky. Keep yourself grounded through your left foot. Flip the palms. Inhale, grow up. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. Clasping the fingers, pushing the hands down, rolling the shoulder blades open. Sorry, you're compressing your shoulder blades behind, rolling your collarbone open. Lift through the heart. One more time, reaching up, flipping the palms. Exhale, release to behind the back, clasp. And then exhale, bring your hands down. I'll show you with the block this time at its highest height so that it would rest the back of your upper leg. From here, mindfully untucking your back toes, inching your left toes forward until the back of your thigh touches your block. And wiggling that heel out, flexing the toes up. When you're ready, you can bring yourself up if that feels good. Otherwise, you can stay down. Remember, if this is not your practice, don't worry. You can reach your hands up. Take 3 full breaths in and out. Hands flow back down. Dragging your heel back in, removing your prop. All the way back. And you can come directly into child's pose. So toes are together, knees are at the edges of your mat. Sit your hips back and reach your hands forward. And really let yourself sink into this one. Tuning into the sound of your heartbeat, letting your hips rest, letting everything in your body rest. Let's take 5 more full breaths in and out. Feel your belly expand with your inhales. With your exhales, you're pulling your navel in towards the spine, lifting the pelvic floor. And then first, slowly lift your gaze to your hands, walking yourself back up. And coming to sit on your knees. Coming into camel pose, so lots of back bends today. Coming up onto your knees, tucking your toes underneath. Make sure that your pinky toes are also tucked, that nothing is jetting in. So you're up nice and tall off of the legs, bringing the palms of your hands to your lower back, fingertips pointed up. Press your shoulder blades and your elbows towards one another. And from here, you are pushing your hips forward, lifting your heart to the sky, lifting your gaze, but keeping the neck in control and taking full breaths. This is that trust thing again, and the breath helps with it. Inhale, straighten back up through the spine, releasing arms, releasing feet, and roll yourself down into just a little ball. When you're ready, come back up. Knees are hip distance apart. Tuck your toes back underneath. You can either come into the exact same one as last time with your fingertips at your lower back. If you want to go next level, you're bringing your hands to the heels of your feet, pressing your hips forward, lifting the heart, and breathing fully. Keep breathing. Inhale, straighten back up, slowly with the neck coming back up. Don't force it up. Untuck your toes, sit your hips back, roll into your little ball. Take a few deep breaths, maybe wiggling your hips from side to side. We do a lot of these kind of release poses in our yin class, and we like to use that technique, I do anyways, in between the camel. And pushing yourself back up. So, knees come to the edge of your mat. Feet are directly pointed back behind. Sit your bottom down between your feet. If this doesn't work for you or your knees, you can sit up onto a block or just keep yourself up. Wherever you are, it's perfect. Everybody has different bodies and different rules for their bodies. So take a couple breaths here. And then if it's in your practice, you can slowly start to lean back to your hands, maybe to your elbows. Keep lifting up through your heart. If it doesn't feel good to let your neck go, keep your chin tucked into your chest. Full breath. if your neck is back, slowly bring the chin towards the chest, making your way back up to your hands and forward. And then come back down to your seat. Once you're on your seat, maybe you feel good to do a couple point and flex with your toes. So you're sitting forward so that your torso wants to naturally come forward. Flexing both your feet up to the sky. Keep your left leg outstretched. Bend your right leg in towards you. Planting through the right foot. Keeping some space between your right foot and your left leg. Now, if you practice the bound, so you're reaching out, bringing your arm back behind, and connecting fingertips behind, then you can go ahead and bound yourself. A good practice, if that's not for you yet, or you have hips like mine, bring your left hand down beside you. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, reaching for your left, coming onto the outside of the left foot. Grabbing on. Take a deep breath in, lift up through the heart. Exhale, a little resistance coming down towards the left leg. Now if your right knee has flopped out to the side, try and keep it in towards the midline. Breathe here. Two more breaths. Inhale, come back up. And release the right leg. Left leg bends in this time. Right toes flex to the sky. Keep that space. And then if you're binding, you can wrap your arm back and around. Otherwise, right hand plants into the floor. Inhale, reach your left hand up. Exhale, reaching for the outside of the right foot. See how my leg kind of flops out? Bring it back in. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, fold forward. You're folding from your hips, not your shoulders. Breathe in, soften the muscles in your face. Inhale, release back up, and release the leg. Sitting up again, nice and tall. Left leg stays stretched out. We're bringing our right foot into the crook of our left elbow. Right toes are flexed, and then you're just cradling your leg in your arm. It's okay if you can't bring the foot into the crook of the arm. Just hold onto that foot with your left hand and rock. Keep yourself anchored through your left heel. Rock and breathe. Bring your right hand to your foot. Slowly help it back down. Other side, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the left foot in, the crook. With the right elbow, cradling it in your arms. Remember, both feet are flexed. And gently rock. Trying to keep your heart and belly lifted. And then take your left foot down. Good. Coming into a boat pose. So 4 different levels for this one. You're up, you're rocked back between your sit bones and your tailbone. And your toes and hands are connected. So toes to the ground, hands to the backs of the legs. That's level 1. Level 2, legs are straight out, pressing into one another. Level 3, hands out to the side. And level 4, toes to the sky. Choosing wherever you're at today. I'm going to be very gentle with myself today, so level 1. So you want to keep your belly in towards your legs. You're rocked back, you're not putting any pressure really into your toes, and you're breathing fully. And then cross your ankles, hug your knees into your belly, and rock. Take a deep breath in and out, release. Ready for round 2. Choosing maybe a different level this time or the same one, whatever works for you. If you're up, you're really pressing your knees in towards one another. Belly lifts, heart lifts, breathe. Cross the ankles, lean yourself forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release, rocking. One more time, wherever you are, coming back in. See if you can soften a little bit more through the collarbone, through the jaw. Full breaths. And when you're ready, rock back, pausing. And exhale, release. Windshield wipering your legs from side to side. And folding your shoulder blades underneath, bringing your hands under your hips. So not quite under the sit bones fully, but they're supporting your glutes and your hips. And it makes a little bowl for them. Bring your legs straight up to the sky. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly lower both legs, hovering them. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, slowly lower. Couple more times, activating your core. Slow movements. Keep focused on your breathing. And then plant your feet into the ground, hip distance apart, and windshield wiper it out again. So let's roll onto our left side, cradling our head into a fetal position. So your left arm is cradling your head, your right hand is planted into the ground, and your knees are bent. From here, you're going to straighten your bottom leg. So your left leg straightens below you, and you can shift your hips so that your right knee comes down to the ground. You can either stay here, or if it feels good, bend your bottom knee, bend your left knee back. Take your top hand, right hand, reach back for your left toes. Adjust your hips, adjust your rib cage, make sure nothing's jutting in. And then take a deep breath, rolling your heart open to the sky. You're going to be holding this for like 10 breaths. So really let yourself relax into it. Focus on the breathing. Focus on relaxing where you can. breath is slowing down. The muscles are relaxing with each exhale. And slowly release your fingers from your left foot, bringing it back down. And come to lay flat on your stomach. Resting on the side of your temple, take a few breaths in and out. And then rolling onto your right side, back into your fetal position, right arm holding the head. From here, both of your knees are bent. We're going to straighten our bottom leg down below us. Our right leg straightens, and your left knee comes down towards the ground. Adjust your hips. You can either stay here, or if it feels good, bend your right knee back. Take your top left hand, reaching back for your right toes. Adjusting yourself, adjusting hips, rib cage, make sure nothing is jutting in. Take a full breath in and out. And relax into this position. Your heart is rolling open towards the sky. A few more full breaths, letting your belly expand. And slowly releasing the foot back down to the ground. Coming back onto your belly. Hands by your sides. Take a couple breaths, feeling the earth below you. From here, we're stretching our left arm straight out into T position, palm down. Bring your right hand under your right shoulder and push, rolling your body towards your outstretched left arm. If that's not for you, then you can choose to skip this one. If you want a little less, you're dragging your left arm down towards your waist. So bring both of your knees back up, plant through the right hand, and we're opening through our left shoulder. So hold here and breathe. If it feels good for you, you can wrap your top hand around, resting the back of your hand at your sacrum. Couple breaths into the heart center. So much new space. And bring your right hand back around, planting the hand in. Knees come down, slowly roll onto the belly. Drag your left hand in. Again, breath into the earth. Right hand stretches out, T position beside you, plant down through the palm. Left hand under the left shoulder, presses and rolls you towards your right. You can bring both your knees up. Adjust your arm, whatever position works for you. And then if it feels good, bringing your left hand back and around behind your back. You're pressing your shoulder blades towards one another. One more breath in and out. Left hand comes back and around. Release your knees down and come back. You're going to push yourself back up. Bring yourself around to the front and sitting cross-legged. Just a loose cross-legged position. Sitting up full through the spine. Last pose before Shavasana. So, loose cross-legged position. You're bringing your hands behind your back and interlacing at the elbows. Take a moment to clasp on. Take a deep breath in, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, fold forward. Once you're forward, all you're doing is breathing, letting your practice sink into your body. Three more full Ujjayi breaths. Inhale first, lift the gaze, slowly straightening back up. Releasing the arms and bringing yourself down to your back body for Shavasana. Take a moment folding the shoulder blades under the body, tucking your chin in towards your heart so that you feel lots of space in the back of your neck. You're going to take a full breath in and out. As you're exhaling, your legs and feet are falling away from one another. Your hands are at your sides, palms up to the sky to receive. Continue to breathe deep breaths at the beginning of Shavasana. Feel your body sink deeper and deeper. As your limbs become heavy, your mind becomes light. Not skipping Shavasana. It is one of the most important poses in the asana movement practice, as it lets your body integrate everything we just did. Let yourself reset, restore, and refresh. into your body. Breathing a little bit deeper. Starting to wiggle your toes and your fingertips. And if it feels good to stretch yourself out or to hug your knees into your belly, you can do both or neither. When you're ready, rolling onto your right side, cradling your head, and taking a few more grounding breaths here. When you're ready, returning back up to your seat. Cross leg, sitting up nice and tall through the spine, and taking a few full breaths. Reflecting on your practice. Bringing your hands to the Anjali Mudra at your heart. Truthfulness turns us from lies and half-truths to expressing our uniqueness and authenticity. Is my yes coming from a dark corner or from the light in my heart? I know that embarking on nonviolence, I shall be running what might be termed a mad risk. But the victories of truth have never been won without risk. Let's seal the practice with one Om. So inhale, exhale first. Inhale to Om. Om. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Namaste.